Hey, my heart! Cheerily, cheerily, my heart! Yar, yar, taking the topsail, tend to the master's whistle. Low till I'll burst my window, brooming up.
Good boatswain, take care! Where's the master? Play the man!
I pray now, keep below!
Where's the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You mar our labors. Keep your cabins, you do assist the storm.
Make good, be patient.
When the sea is, hence what carries these roars for the name of a king. Cabins, silence, trouble us not.
Remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. Command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present. You will not hand me a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, if face you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in the cabin for the mischance of the hour. Cheerily, good hearts, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks the act no driving marks upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Dead fast good things he was hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our table. For own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, then our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast! Jar! Lower, lower, bringing the try with mid-course! Ah! They are louder than the weather of our office. Yet again, what do you do? Shall we give orange drown? Have you mind to sing?
A box over your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, and charitable dog!
Work you then!
Hey, cur! Hey, you noise maker! You're less ready to drown than thou art!
I'll warn him for drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell.
Lay her a hold! Set our course off the sea again! Lay her off!
I'm out of patience! We're really cheating our lives by drunkards! This wide-checked rascal, he might slide drowning, wash him 10 times.
He'll be hanged after every drop of water. Swear against it and gape the widest we love him.
Let's all sink with the king. Let's take leave of him.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of ground, long heath, brown ferns, anything. The will's above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
My dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar. Allay them. The sky seemed to pour down steeping pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the weather cheek, dashed the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth. Or ere it should the good ship have swallowed, and the fraudulent souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart, there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm! I have done nothing but in care of thee. Of thee, my dear one, of thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know, did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee, father. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, mine heart. Wipe thou thine eyes. The dire spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have, with mine arm, so safely ordered that there is not a soul, no, not so much perdition as a hair, fitted to any creature in that vessel, which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now know further.
You've often begun to tell me what I know, but stopped and left me to a bootless position, including stay, not yet.
The hour is now come. The very minute bids thee. Ope thine ear, obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came into this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? The image tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than the assurance that my remembrance warrant. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that came with me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. how is it that this lives on in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward, in the bosom of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here, thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and Prince of Power, and thou his only heir and princess no worse issue. By foul play will lead you hence, but blessedly will pivot. My brother and thy uncle, call Antonio, I pray thee, mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I love, and to him put the manage of my state, as at a time, through all the signories, it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts, without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness, and the bettering of my mind, with that wish, but by being so retired, or prized all popular rate in my false brother, awakened evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent that begetteth him, a falsehood, in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sends not. He, being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth, by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory, to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty, with all prerogative. Hence, his ambition growing, to have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for. He needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties, he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry he was persuaded with the King of Naples to give him annual tribute, to do him homage. Subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the kingdom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan to most ignoble stooping. Mark his condition and the event, then tell me if this might be a brother. Now, the condition, the King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me, and mine out of the kingdom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied, one midnight, faded to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence to me in thy crying self.
In a few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively had quitted. There they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong. Thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile infused with fortitude from heaven. When I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burthen groan, that raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By Providence divine some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steaded much. And of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my due.
But I might but ever meet that man.
Now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea song. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee of more profit than other princesses can, that have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
The heavens thank you for it. And now, I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
Know thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I now find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence if now I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever after be. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
Oh, hail, great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel, and all her quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now in the beak, now on the deck, the waist, in every cabin did I flame amazement. Sometimes I'd divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, yards of bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake.
My great spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then all afire with me, the king's son Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, hell is empty and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, when troops I had dispersed about the isle, the king's son have I lended by himself, who I left cooling of the air with sighs and sitting in an odd angle of the isle, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the king's ship, in a deep nook, where once thou callest me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudes. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labor, I have left asleep. And as for the rest of the fleet, they all are met again upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there is more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season,
At least 2 glasses, the time 'twixt 6, and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed to me.
How now, Moody? What is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out? No more!
I prithee, remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without grudge or grumbling. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and thinkest it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth, when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Arashir.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is this not true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, as thou reportest thyself, was then her servant, and for thou wast a creature too delicate to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee by help of her more potent ministers, in her most unmitigable rage into a cloven pine, within which rift thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, without its vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for that son, the freckled whelp-hag born she did litter here, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so, he, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the doomed which Sycorax could not again undo. Whose mine art when I came, and found thee, and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I'll rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master, I will be correspondent to command, and do my spiriting gently.
Do so, and in 2 days I will discharge thee.
There's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go and make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight, but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape and hither come in it. Hence, with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. will visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
But as it is, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serve us in offices that profit us. What, ho, slave Caliban! Thou work, thou speak.
There's one enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when? Poisonous slave, got by the devil himself. Upon thy wicked dam, come forth.
This wicked dew is ere my mother brushed, with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both. The southwest blow on ye, and blister you all o'er.
For this, be sure, thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall, for that vast of night that they may work, all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made them.
I must eat my dinner. The silence mine by Sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, which strokes me, and makes much of me, wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn bright day and night, and then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the eye. The fresh spring, brightness, barren place, and earth heaven. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats light on you. For I'm all the subjects that you have, when first was mine own king. And here you stymie on this rock, whilst you could keep from me the rest of the isle.
Horrid slave, which any printed goodness will not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but would gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known. But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who didst deserve more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is that I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hag, see hence, fetch us and fuel and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. Shruggest thou malice, if thou neglectest or dost unwillingly what I command? I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, prithee, I must obey. Desirous of such power would control my damned god Setibus and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence. The French curtains of thine eye things. Say what thou seest yon.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but to the spirit.
No one should eat and sleeps and have such meaning as we have. If such, this gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, and what is something stained with greed. That's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person, for he has lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
Goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, set thee free within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer, may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give, how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I'm the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
Thou, the best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, that marvels to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does, I weep. Myself from Naples, who with mine eyes, never since it ebbed, beheld the king, my father, wrecked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
The Duke of Milan, more greater doubter, could now control thee, if natural thing to do. At first sight, they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free from this. How now, sir, a word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that I e'er saw, the first that I e'er sighed for. Pity moved my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. I charge thee, that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself on this island as a spy, to win it from me, the lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's no good thing that can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Speak not for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, and thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks, wherein the corn cradle. Follow.
No. We'll resist such entertainment until mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not so much a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
What, my foot, my tutor? Put up thy sword, traitor. Thou makest a show, but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father!
Hence! Hang not upon my garments.
Sir, have pity. I will be his surety.
What, an advocate for an impostor? Thou thinkest there are no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most removed. I have no ambition to meet a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, and this man's threats to whom I am subdued, I would like to meet. Might I, but through my prison once a day, behold this maid. All corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Follow me.
Be of comfort. My father is of a better nature, sir, than he appears by his speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
I beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day since sailor's wife, the master's the merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort. Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give me one so.
Look how he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it'll strike.
Sir,
One tell?
when every grief is entertained that's offered, there comes the entertainer.
$1.
The Lord comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
And you have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift is he in this tongue.
I prithee spare. And I have done, but yet
He will be talking.
Which, of here, Adrian, forward a wager, first begins to crow.
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seemed to be desert,
Oh, so you're paid.
uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible.
Yet.
Yet,
You could not miss it.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate lass.
Aye, and a subtle as he most learnedly delivered,
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
as many vouched rarities are.
that our garments being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glossiness, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are as fresh as when we first put them on in Africa. The marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Aye, not since widow Dido's time.
Widow? A pox of that. How came that widow in? Widow Dido.
What if he had said widower Aeneas, too?
No, Dido said you. You made me study of that. She was not of Tunis, but of Carthage.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp. He hath raised the walls and houses, too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and bring it his son for an apple.
And, sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were talking that our garments seem as fresh as when we were at your daughter's marriage.
And the rarest that ever came there.
Bait, I beseech you, widow Dido.
Oh, Widow Dido. Aye, Widow Dido.
Is not my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? In a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage?
You cram these words into my ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I have never married my daughter there? For, coming thence, I have lost my son, and in my rate, she too, who is so far removed from Italy that I shall never see her again. O thou, my heir of Naples, and of Milan, what strange fish hath made us meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with good arm and lusty stroke to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn bases bowed, and stooping to relieve him, I doubt not he made it alive to land.
No, no, he's gone.
We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
so is the dear, so the lost. My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most corrodingly. It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I a plantation on the isle?
He'll sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
And were the good king on it?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth, I would by contraries execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit. Letters should not be known. No name of magistrate, no sovereignty.
Yes, he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun. Or need of any engine would I not have, but that nature should bring forth of its own. All poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
God save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me. I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are such sensible and nimble long as they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
And I, in this kind of merit fooling, am nothing to you. So continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given.
Aye, and not fallen a flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere, she would look continuing in 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then go a bat foul it.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep, for I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What? Also soon asleep? I wish that mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts, for I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow, and when it does, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our islet sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian, know what might? No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face. But thou shouldst speak. The occasion speaks thee. And my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and it is a sleepy language, and thou speakest out of sleep. What is it thou dost say? 'Tis a strange repose to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou let's thy fortune sleep. Die rather. Winkst whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctively. There is meaning in thy snoring.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me. Which to do trebles the oar.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb hereditary instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men, indeed, most often do so near the bottom run, by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on, the setting of thy eye and cheek proclaim a matter to me, and a birth in view that throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this, who shall be as of little memory when he's earned, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade. The king, his son's alive. 'Tis as impossible he's undrowned, and he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope. That way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond. But doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He is gone.
Then, tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Well, Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond a man's life. She that from Naples can have no note, unless the sun repose. The man in the moon's too slow, till newborn chins are up razor bowl. She that, from whom? We all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prolonged. What to come is yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Claribel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wait. Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they're no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself can make a trough of this deep chat. Oh, if you but bore the mind that I do, would a sleep were this for your advancement? Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I do remember thou didst supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me, much feeder than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir, where lies that? If 'twere archived, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candied be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, whiles you, doing thus to the perpetual wing for aye, might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou goest Milan, I'll come by Naples. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I thy king shall love thee.
Draw together. And when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall on Gonzalo.
Oh, but a word.
My master through his art foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy, his time to think. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake.
And let us both be sudden.
Good angels, preserve the king. What? Oh no. Oh, wait! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
While as we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls or rather lions. Did this not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure as the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon my honor, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, which did awake me. I shook you, sir, and cried. And opening my eyes, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's fairly. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let us make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island. Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall and make him by inch-meal at seas. His spirits hear me, yet I needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, fight you urgent shows, pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me. Sometime like apes that mow and chatter, and after bite me. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who with their cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo now, lo! Here comes the spirit of this to torment me, who brings wooden slowly. I'll fall flat, perchance he will not mind me.
There's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. Another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one. Looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. Now if it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. Huh. Now what have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? Oh, it smells like a fish. Very ancient, a fish-like smell, a kind of not of the newest bourgeon. Now were I in England, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday full there would give a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man, and will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, a lazy of 10 to see a dead Indian. Now legged like a man, and fins like arms. Warm on my trough. I do now let loose my former opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that has lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There's no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. We'll here shrouded till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more, to sea, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gun around his mate, loved Moll, Meg, Marion and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, yet the tailor might scratch her where she'd a ditch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me. Oh,
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind, huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. So it shall be said again, while Stephano breathes out his nostrils.
the spirit torments me. Oh,
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him, and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he will be a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather.
do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste in my bottle. If ye have never drunk wine afore, will go near to remove his fit.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt, thou wilt anon. I know it by thy trembling. Prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly.
I should know that voice. It should be. No, but he's drowned and these are but devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will help his ague, I will recover him. Come, amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy! This is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano! If thou be Stefano, touch me and speak to me. For I am Trinculo. Be not feared. Thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke. Thou art not drowned, Stephano. I hope now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And thou art living, Stephano. Stephano, Neapolitan escaped.
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, as a brave god and bear celestial liquor, I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? Camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard, by this bottle, which I made from the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll serve myself as subject on that bottle, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
I swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf? How dost thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in here, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee and thy dog in thy bush.
Come, swear to it. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents, swear.
Why, this good life is a very shallow monster. I had feared of him. A very weak monster. The man in the moon. A most poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I show thee a fertile inch the owl. I will kiss thy foot. I pray thee, be my lord.
By this light, most perfidious and drunken monster.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then. Down and swear.
I could laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to be it.
Dumb kiss.
But the poor monster's in drink. An abominable monster.
I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A ridiculous monster, too, to make a wonder of such a poor drunkard.
I'll bring thee to where crabs grow. Now with my long nails dig thee pig nuts. If thou go with me,
Prithee, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company else being drowned. We will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo, we'll fill him by and by again.
farewell, master. Farewell, farewell.
A howling monster. A drunken monster.
Freedom, heyday. Heyday, freedom. Freedom, heyday, freedom.
O brave monster, lead the way.
Be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says, such baseness had never like executor. I forget. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors, most busy lest when I do it.
Alas now, pray you work not so hard. Although I may have burnt up those logs to enjoy the plow. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father's hard to study. Pray now rest yourself. Be safe for these 3 hours.
O most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bury a long while. Pray give me that, I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature. I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should with much more ease. For mine will is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm thou art infected. His visitation shows it.
You look weary.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration. Worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed, with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, but never any with so fun soul, but some quarrel in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, you are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call man than you, dear friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless of. But by my modesty, good jewel of my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape, beside yourself, to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am, in my condition, a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. Would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. There resides, to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly, invert what best has boded me to mischief. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, and honor you.
I'm a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Fair encounter of two most fair affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breathe between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is prattling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and taught me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress then, and I thus humble ever.
My husband then?
I, with a heart as willing as bondage ere of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. Now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, nor surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. All to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
When the blood is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster. The folly of this isle. Say there's but 5 of us upon this island, and if the other 2 be brain like us, the state totters.
Drink, monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Well, where should they be set else? You were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea could not drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
You're lieutenant if you listen. No standard.
Not wrong, Mr. Monster.
Nor go neither. You lie like dogs and yet say nothing neither.
Calf, speak once in thy life, thou beest a good room, calf.
How does thine honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
And thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am in case the just old constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou? Was there ever man a coward that drinks so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, I am Hawksby.
Oh,
Wilt thou
Lord.
let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster can be such a natural.
Oh, lo, again, bind him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove mutineer, the next tree. The monster is my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Mary, will I repeat it? I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the isle.
That's
Thou.
most certain.
Thou liest.
How would my valiant master destroy thee? I do not lie.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further in his tail, or by this hand, I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why? I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
As I told thee, by sorcery he got this out. For me he got it. Thy greatness revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That is also most certain.
Shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How then shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord, I'll yield him thee asleep.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
By ninny this, thou scurry patch. Order my master, take his bottle from him. He'll drink not but brine after this, for I'm not sure what fresh as are.
Trinculo, sign to no further danger, or by this hand, I will turn my mercy out of doors, and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? What did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that! As you like this, give me the lie another time.
Not give the lie. Your wits and bearing too? A box of your bottle. This can sack and drink you do. A murder on your monster and the devil take your fingers.
Now, forward with your tail. Do they stand farther off?
Beat him enough, after all, I'll beat him too.
Stand farther. Come, proceed.
As I told thee, it's a custom in the afternoon for him to sleep. Ere thou mayst brain him, having first taken his books. For without them he's but a sot, as am I, and hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as Bruce be his eye. Having first taken his books. But the most important thing to consider is the beauty of his daughter, who even he says she has no parallel. And I never saw a woman save but Sycorax, and she far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest as these.
Is it so brave, alas?
Aye, Lord.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in your head.
Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
I go back and I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze turning deep through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dwelling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here, I will put off my hope, and keep it no longer for my flatterer. For he is drowned who thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Let him go.
Do not, for one repulse, forego the purpose you resolve to effect.
The next advantage we will take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot, use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight no more.
Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
You are three men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what is in it will never your fate exceed, have caused to belch up you, and on this island, where men doth not inhabit, you most men, being most unfit to live. I have made you mad, and even with such like valor men hanging around and cut themselves. You fools, the elements of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds, and would be mocked at, stabs, kill the still closing waters, as diminish what dalliance in my plume. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths, and will not get lifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero. Expose him to the sea which hath requited, him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures, against your peace. Be of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me, lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend to you in your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, which here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart sorrow, and a clear life ensuing.
Think of something holy. Why stand you in a strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The wind did sing to me in the thunder. That trembling and dreadful organ pipe did pronounce the name of Prospero. It did base my trespass. Therefore, in this my son in the ooze is bedded, and I'll search deeper than air's plummet sounded, and lie there mudded with him.
But one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions o'er.
I'll be thy second.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a long time after, now begins to bite the spirits.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had, devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hast to say? My high charms work, and these my enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power. And in these fits I leave them, while I go visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine love darling. If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. Who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test here. Afore heaven I ratify this my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
And as my rich gift and thine own acquisition, worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break before all sanctimonious ceremony, may with full and holy rite be ministered. No sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow. But barren hate, sour eye disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly you shall hate it both. Therefore, take heed.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life, with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion our worst genius can, shall never melt mine honor to take away that day's celebration.
Fairly spoken. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel? My industrious servant, Ariel.
What would my master? Here I am.
Thou your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go and bring the rabble, or whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion.
Presently,
Aye, with a twink.
before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so-so, each one tripping on his toe, shall be here we mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I can see.
Look thou, be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire and the blood. Be more abstemious, or else, good night your vow. Now come, my Ariel. Bring a corollary, rather than want a spirit. Appear, and pertly. No tongue, all eyes. Be silent.
Thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads that was over them to keep. Thy banks with pine and twill trim, with spongy acorn thy hast trimmed, to make cold nips chaste crowns. And thy broom groves, whose shadows to the smith's bachelor love, being last lorn. Thy pulpit vineyard and thy sea marsh, sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost bear. O queen of the sky, whose watery ark and messenger am I, bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plat, in this very place, to come and sport. Her peacocks fly amain, approach rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bough dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short grass green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to his state on these blessed lovers.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes. I know her by her gait.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be and honored in their age.
Honor, riches, marriage blessing, long continuance, and increasing hourly joys bestow upon you.
Earth's increase, poison cleansing, barns and garners never empty, vines and clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly birth and bowing. Spring come to you, at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you.
This is a most majestic vision, and harmoniously charming. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered father and a wife make this place paradise.
Sweet now, silence. I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The hour of their plot has almost come. Well done, avoid, no more.
Strange, your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touch with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, ye all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leaves not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My mind is troubled. If you be pleased, retire to my cell, and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
We must prepare to meet with Caliban.
I, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking. So fond of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses. So I charmed their ears, that calf like they my lowing followed, toothed briars, sharp furses, pricking gossamer thorns that entered their fertile shins. At last I left them, in the filthy mantle pool beyond your cell, where dancing up to the chins of the foul lake or slunk at their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape, invisible as thou art, retainest thou still. The trumpery in my house, bring it hither, for stale to touch these thieves. A devil, a born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
Be quiet. The blind told me that you're a footfall. You are near his son.
Monster, your fairy. She says a harmless fairy. It's done little better than played the jack with us.
Now we're a lost monster.
Good, my lord, I give thee. Give me thy favor still. Be patient. For the prize that they shall get shall hoodwink his mischance.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool.
There's not only disgrace and dishonor on that monster, but an infinite loss.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. No noise and enter. Do that good mischief which shall make thee king of this isle forever.
Give me the hand. You begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano! Oh, Peter! Oh, worthy Stefano, look what a wardrobe is here for thee.
Leave it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Oh, monster, we know what belongs to frippery. Oh, King Stefano!
Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I will have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
Oh, going into the murder first, if he awake. From head to toe and fill our souls with pinches. Make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Now, mistress line, is this not my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line. Now, jerkin, you are like to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin.
Do. You steal by line and level, ain't like your grace.
I thank thee for that jest. Here's a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level. That is an excellent passive pate.
Now come, monster. Put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
No, I'll have none of it. Come, lay to your fingers. Help us to carry this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to. Carry this.
Aye. And this.
Aye, and this.
Hey, mountain, hey!
Silver Eye, there it goes, silver.
Fury, fury! There, tyrant, there! Ark! Go charge my goblins as they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged cramps, and more pinch-spotted make them than pard or cat of mouth.
Hark, they roar.
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air of freedom. For a little follow, and do me service. To a head. My spirits obey, my charms crack not, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the tempest. Say, spirit, how does the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge. All prisoners, sir, in the lion grove which weather fenced yourself, just as you left them. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours, abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly, sir, him that you term the good old Lord Gonzalo? His tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Indeed, sir, if your charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms will break. Their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Graves at my command. Awake their sleepers. Oh, and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic do I hear abjure. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Ariel, fetch me the cloak and rapier in my cell. I will this case me and myself present, as I was sometime the line. Quickly, Ariel, thou shalt ere long be free. Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. So, to the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches, the master and the boatswain being awake, and force them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me, and return, or ere your pulse twice beat.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body. To thee and thy crew, I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou beest here or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. My pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. And if it be so at all, a most strange story. I do resign my dukedom, and thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be here and be living?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the island, which will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could here pluck his highness's frown upon thee, and justify thee traitor. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest faults, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce, I know, thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were wrecked on the shore, where I have lost, and this point of remembrance is so sharp, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is loss, and patience is past your cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help. Whose soft grace, for the like loss, I have, for sovereign aid and rest, myself content.
Use the like loss?
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss of I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you. For I have lost my daughter.
The daughter? Oh heavens, that they were living in Naples together. The king and queen there, that they were. I wish myself lie bedded in that oozy mud with my son. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire, that they devour their reason and scarce think. Their eyes do offices of truth, their words are natural breath. But howsoever you have been jostled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, the very duke that was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely, upon the shore where you are wrecked, was landed to be the lord on it. Pray you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you with as good a thing, at least bring forth a wonder, to content ye as much as me, my dukedom.
If this be a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Now all the blessings of our grandfather encompass thee. Arise and say how thou camest here.
How many goodly people are there here? Oh, brave new world with such people in it.
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou hast at play? Your eldest acquaintance here cannot be 3 hours. Is she the one that hath severed us and thus brought us together?
No, sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she is mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is the daughter of that famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown, but never seen before, of whom I have received a second life, and a second father this lady makes him to me.
I am hers, but oh how oddly it will sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burthen our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
I have vainly wept, or should have spoken thus. Look down, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which has brought us hither. I say amen, Gonzalo. Was Milan, for us from Milan, that his issue should become kings of Naples? Or rejoice beyond a common joy, and sit it down with gold on lasting pillars? For in one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, Ferdinand a wife when he was lost, Prospero a dukedom on a poor isle, and all of us ourselves when no man was his own. Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart, but doth not wish you joy. Be it so. Amen. Look, sir, here's more of us. I prophesied if there was but a gallows on land, this fellow would not drown. Oh, grace that swears overboard. What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. But the next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight in the yard and bravely rigged as when we first set out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
This is not a thing of nature. It strengthens from strange to stranger. Say, how thou camest hither.
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I would strive to tell you. We were but dead of sleep, and, how we know not, all clapped under hatches, where but even now was strange and several noises of roaring, howling, shrieking, jingling chains, and more diversities of sound, all horrible, but we divided from them, and were brought moping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt be free.
This is strange a maze as ever men trod. There is more in this business than nature's conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At pick leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you of every these happened accidents. Till when, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come in there, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster. Coraggio.
These be true spires which I wear in my head. It's a goodly sight. Most Celibus, these be brave spirits indeed. I'll find my masters. I am afraid he will chastise me.
What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy them?
Very like. One of them's a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows, you must know and own. This thing of darkness, acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death. Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He's drunk now. Where can he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Where should thou have found this liquor that hath gilded thee? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last. But I fear me never out of my bones. I will not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the isles, sir.
I would be a sore one then.
And this is the strangest thing I ever looked upon.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go to, sirrah, to my cell. Take your companions with you.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite you and your train to my cell for this one night where you will take your rest. Which part of it I'll waste with discourse, as shall no doubt make it go quickly away. The story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came into this isle. In the morn, I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these, our dear beloved solemnized.
I long to hear the story of her life, and how it must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas and sail so expeditious I shall catch your royal fleet far off. Ariel, that is thy charge. Then, to the elements, be free and fare thou well. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint now. 'Tis true, I must be here, confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my Duke and God, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this fair island by your spell. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant. My ending is despair, unless I be relieved with prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon me, let your indulgence set me free.
Hospitality. Publicity. Costumes. Sets and props. Lights and sound. Management and assistant direction. One more bow from everyone. You hang out for an all-pass picture, so don't go anywhere just yet. Well, audience, you're welcome to go.
Back here, I can't get all of them. Maybe I can. Okay, look over here. 1, 2, 3. Anna. Thank you.